a tumultuous union, the whirlwind romance of Oya and Sango. The air crackled with anticipation. A storm was brewing, but this was no ordinary tempest. This was the day Oya, the fierce warrior goddess of the Niger River, met Sango, the electrifying god of thunder and lightning. Their connection was immediate and intense, a whirlwind of passion that mirrored the storms they commanded. She was drawn to his power, his charisma, his ability to command the very heavens. He was captivated by her strength, her beauty, her untamed spirit that rivaled his own. Their courtship was a dance of fire and water, a clash of wills that shook the earth and scorched the sky. He, with his booming laughter and bolts of lightning, could illuminate the darkest night. She, with her fierce winds and torrential rains, could reshape mountains and carve valleys. Together they were an unstoppable force, a symphony of nature's fury and beauty. But their passion, like the storms they embodied, was as destructive as it was creative. Their love, like their powers, held the potential to nourish the world or tear it asunder. Oya, the powerful mistress of wind and storms, Oya, the warrior goddess, was a force of nature in her own right. She was the embodiment of the Niger River, her spirit as vast and unpredictable as its currents. With a flick of her wrist, she could summon winds that could uproot trees and tear down mountains. With a roar, she could unleash torrential downpours that could flood the plains and quench the thirst of the land. Oya was a protector of women, a fierce guardian of the dead, and a guide for those who journeyed to the afterlife. She was revered for her strength, her courage, and her unwavering sense of justice. But beneath her formidable exterior lay a heart capable of profound love and loyalty. Her love for Sango was as fierce and untamed as she was, a force that could consume them both if they weren't careful. Sango, the electrifying god of thunder and lightning. Sango, the fourth Aliphin of Oyo, was no less formidable than his tempestuous lover. As the god of thunder and lightning, his very presence crackled with power. When he spoke, his voice boomed like thunder, shaking the heavens and commanding instant attention. His laughter was like the crackle of lightning, illuminating the darkest corners with a sudden brilliant flash. He was a charismatic leader, a skilled warrior, and a powerful sorcerer, commanding the respect and admiration of his people. Sango's power was evident in every aspect of his being. His double-headed axe, Osha Sango, was said to be imbued with the very force of lightning, capable of cleaving through enemies and obstacles with ease. He was a king who ruled with both strength and compassion, always mindful of the needs of his people. The spark ignites. Love and conflict in the beginning. Their first meeting was a clash of titans, a spectacle that left onlookers breathless. It was during a raging storm, the likes of which the world had never seen. Oya, adorned in a whirlwind of colorful cloth, her eyes blazing with power, commanded the winds and rain. Sango, his body wreathed in lightning, his voice booming over the cacophony, challenged the storm with his own brand of power. They circled each other, two predators sizing each other up, their powers clashing and merging in a chaotic dance. Lightning met wind, rain battled thunder, and the earth trembled beneath their feet. Yet, amidst the chaos, there was an undeniable attraction, a spark of recognition that ignited between them. Their fiery personalities often clashed, their differences as pronounced as their similarities. She, independent and headstrong, resisted his attempts to control her. He, used to obedience and admiration, found her defiance both exhilarating and infuriating. Despite their fiery arguments and passionate reconciliations, Oya and Sango shared a deep love and respect for one another. They recognized in each other a kindred spirit, a force of nature that mirrored their own. They challenged each other, pushed each other to their limits, and in doing so they grew stronger, both as individuals and as a couple. Together, they faced many trials. They battled envious deities who sought to usurp their power. They faced natural disasters that threatened the land and its people. They supported each other's ambitions, celebrated each other's victories, and comforted each other in times of loss. Their love was not a fairy tale, but a testament to the enduring power of commitment, understanding, and shared purpose. One fateful day, a terrible misunderstanding arose between Oya and Sango. Jealous whispers, fueled by a rival deity envious of their power, poisoned Sango's heart against his beloved. He was led to believe that Oya had betrayed him. that his most trusted confidant had turned against him. Blind with rage and consumed by grief, Sango confronted Oya. Words were spoken in the heat of the moment, accusations hurled like lightning bolts. Oya, her heart shattered by Sango's distrust, retaliated with the full force of her fury. The earth shook, the skies roared, and the very fabric of reality seemed to tear at the seams as the two most powerful deities in the land unleashed their rage upon each other. When the dust settled, both Oya and Sango were left battered and heartbroken. The realization of what they had done, fueled by the whispers of regret and the ache of separation, settled in like a heavy fog. They had allowed their love, their passion, to be twisted into something destructive, something that threatened to consume them both. Unable to bear the pain of their shattered bond, they chose to separate. Oya, heartbroken and furious, retreated to the wilderness, her cries of anguish echoing through the winds. Sango, consumed by guilt and regret, wandered the land, his once booming laughter silenced by the weight of his actions. The rains came erratically, the storms were unpredictable, and the land suffered. The balance of nature had been disrupted, and the world seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the inevitable reconciliation. Oya, in her grief and fury, became a force of untamed destruction. Her winds howled with the pain of her shattered heart, tearing through villages, uprooting trees, and whipping the sea into a frenzy. Her rains fell in torrential downpours, flooding the land, washing away crops, and leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. She was no longer the protector, the warrior queen who fought for justice and defended the weak. She was a woman consumed by her pain, lashing out at the world that had taken her love, her trust, her very heart. Yet, even in her fury, a part of Oya yearned for Sango, for his touch, his laughter, the way he made her feel alive. Meanwhile, Sango wandered the land, a shadow of his former self. The weight of his actions, the knowledge that he had driven away the love of his life, hung over him like a shroud. The once vibrant king, the charismatic leader who had united his people, was now a broken man, haunted by regret and consumed by the desire to make amends. He saw the devastation caused by Oya's wrath, the suffering of his people, and he knew that he was partly responsible. He had allowed jealousy and mistrust to cloud his judgment, and in doing so, he had unleashed chaos upon the world. The path to redemption is rarely easy, and for Sango, it was a long and arduous journey. He had to face not only Oya's wrath, but also the consequences of his actions. He had to rebuild the trust he had broken, not just with Oya, but with his people and with himself. Guided by the wisdom of the Orishas and driven by the depth of his love for Oya, Sango set out to right his wrongs. He used his powers to heal the land, to rebuild what had been destroyed, and to bring prosperity back to his people. Oya, witnessing Sango's genuine remorse and his tireless efforts to atone for his mistakes, felt the ice around her heart begin to melt. The pain of his betrayal was still there, a scar that would never fully heal, but she saw the love, the regret, and the longing in his eyes, and she knew that he was truly sorry. Their reconciliation was not a sudden burst of passion, but a slow, steady rebuilding of trust. The epic Mythology